Well, it's time for your national forecast. We have a lot to unpack with some wintry scenes over the weekend in parts of Western Canada, delivering footage like this. It's near Kelowna, but yes, into the prairies as well. Cold air collided with a massive moisture, and that made for quite a situation that we'll talk more about here. But for Newfoundland, the fall colors, sunny skies. You can expect a lot more of this today on voting day as voters head to the polls in Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, looking at yesterday, Point Pelee was Canada's hot spot for the second day in a row, and it looks like temperatures are going to be a lot more like that, especially in southern Ontario, where Toronto and Windsor have highs of 22 degrees today. And we're going to be above seasonal, seeing that warmth into parts of Quebec and Atlantic Canada as well. Now, for voters heading to the polls in Newfoundland and Labrador, we'll see temperatures well above seasonal into Labrador in particular. Going to be a little bit cooler than usual for St. John's with a single-digit high of 9. Meanwhile, for the Maritimes, we're looking at some decent temperatures, a little bit of cloud cover compared to the much sunnier skies we're seeing in much of Newfoundland and Labrador. But as we can see, temperatures will be taking a little bit of a hit as the week rolls along, but maybe rebounding for the weekend by the looks of it. For southern Quebec, we're seeing temperatures right around seasonal or maybe even a bit warmer. Look at Gatineau, 20 degrees for the first day of this short work week with mostly sunny skies. Now for Montreal, that 7-day trend showing the cool down rebounding into the weekend, but maybe some rainfall late weekend into early next week. And a very similar outlook for Toronto, where temperatures will take a little bit of a dip, kind of a 9-degree difference between today's high and tomorrow's high in the forecast, but things should be possibly back up to 20 degrees by the start of the weekend. Now, not much in the way of rainfall until much later in the week. Ontario looking at quite a dry pattern, although as we can see, late week I should say, that rainfall looks to be building into northern areas first. Let's talk about the west. Temperatures over the weekend were cold. Calgary had a couple days where the forecast high was 0. Today at 6, so already seeing some improvement. Sunny skies to help kind of replace what was a very messy wintry storm moving through over the last few days. Tomorrow we're going to be into double digits for many, but it looks like this warm up might not last too long. Now, in terms of precipitation, as I mentioned, we're getting a little bit of a break from the action until late week. Some rainfall could be building in to the southern prairies, but I think we'll take that over the snowflakes that really punctuated our Thanksgiving weekend forecast. For Edmonton, we'll see things warming up, maybe peaking on Thursday with a high of 13 degrees, but single-digit highs come back into the picture late weekend into early next week. So we'll keep an eye on that temperature pattern. Faring a little bit better for Winnipeg, a high of 15 degrees on Friday with that rain we talked about late week impacting the southern prairies. Now, speaking of rain, not seeing much of that in southern BC, although northern coastal areas are getting a bit of that. As we approach Thursday, some of that rainfall starting to slide down to more southern areas. We'll be watching for just how much we get and how much that might impact areas like Vancouver, but for our Tuesday afternoon, lots of sunshine in southern parts of British Columbia, and our forecast showing those sunny skies turning to rain potentially by the weekend.